connections. So this trusted connections we have to create in the SMT1. SMT1 is the transaction code to create the trusted RFC connection to the your backend systems here, right? Suppose example, suppose there is a one system here. Think like there is a MCD system here, right? So and also we have the ECD system is there here, right? So there is a calls will go HTTP calls or some other calls will go to backend ECD system here. So I want ECD system calls should be trusted. Then in this case, what I will do? So I will I will go to the SMT1 transaction code here. Here I will click on the create button. Then I will add the ECD, the trusted relationship between the same system here. So ECD is hosted on the KP Online 1. Okay, KP Online 1. So instance number ECD02. Okay, so 02. Then username, which user you want to do the trusting here, right? So which user means any user you can provide it, which user it should go. So only system details, instance number, user, which user. Suppose like let's give the basis user, then give the client number. So client number, then language, click on the enter button, continue, right? So then it will it will connect to the your ECD system, which means if any connection which is going from MCD to ECD, it won't ask any password or anything. Why? Because now you are adding the system into the trusted relationship. Trusted relationship means so it will whatever the information it will pull the data from the backend and ECD system from MCD you can access it here. So it won't ask any user ID and password. To that purpose, we have to establish the trusted relationship between two systems. At the same time, so we have to vice versa. Once that is completed, then vice versa. We have to go back to the so this one SMT1. So then here to the backend system. So we have to establish the connectivity. Just click on the create button here. So then click on the continue. So the RFC, sometimes RFC destination, it will ask it here, which RFC destination, what is the RFC which you connected to the backend system, right? So then that RFC destination, we have to provide it here. That RFC destination, we have to provide it here. So suppose example NW1, so ECD. So suppose example you want to establish between these two systems. Then ECD, we have to create a RFC destination to the backend NW1 system. Suppose like let's go to the SM51. So let's see which destination is connecting to the so which destination. So let's close this one. ECD. Let's go to SM59. Above connection. So this is the connection. Example, this is the connection which is connecting to the backend system here, NW1 system. It is connecting here. So this RFC destination here. So what I will do, I will use this RFC destination. Go to SMT1, then click on the create button, start, then RFC destination name. Okay, continue, complete. Done. Connection is done. Okay. Now I will go to the NW1 system. So SMT1 transaction code. SMT1 transaction code. Then click on the create button. Both the system, vice versa. So both the systems we have to establish the connection here, right? So that's what I am doing here. ECD. Is it ECD is there?
So to communicate both the RFC destination we have to create, right?
Yeah,
For the
RFC
only one.
destinations.
Okay.
So via RFC destinations, it will it will communicate it here. Trusted connections. So here both the side. So in the NW1 ECD system we added, then here we added the ECD NW1 system details we added. So when you go to the SM59, so here for this RFC connection there is a trusting RFC connection will be used here, which means if any connection which is going, that is called the trusted relationship is established, which means that will be trusted. Any connection it will be go, that will be the trusted here. Trusted means it won't ask any user ID and password here. It won't ask the any user ID and password. Suppose example, now I am in the here. If I use this one, I will connect. So if I use this one, trusted relationship. So trusted relationship should be established. So ECD system, if you are using one application in the ECD system, that application requires some data from the backend NW1 system. So then immediately it will go and pull the data here. It won't ask any user ID and password. Same current user, it will go and ask the data here. Only authorizations it will check. Then so it will enter into the backend system. It will pull the data here. So that kind of trusted relationship purpose we have to use the SMT1, and SMT2 is the transaction code to check the status here. To check the status, we will use the SMT1, SMT2. We will use it here. Okay.
We can also use certificates, right, for external systems like
Yeah.
other than
In case
ECC.
of SSO, in case of SSO configuration purpose, so that time we have to use the certificates. Suppose some third party systems are there, some other systems are there, portal systems are there, or your web dispatcher is there, or PO system is there, web dispatcher is that time. In that system certificate we have to export it. That system certificate we have to export it here. So that system certificate we have to export. Then this certificate we have to import into the, so our SAP systems, there is a transaction code is called the STRUSTSSO2 transaction code. In this certificate list, system PSC list, we have to add that certificate list here. In the SAP, the all the certificates management we can manage using the so STRUSTSSO2 transaction code here. So system internal certificates, outside external certificates, SSL certificates. So any certificates we have to manage it from here in this transaction code. STRUST SSO2 transaction code here. Okay. So this is the certificates related transaction code here. So here you can see the system PSC. Okay, here you can see the system PSC, and so there are the multiple PSCs, SSL server standard PSC, SSL, so server standard PSC here, then SSL server standard client anonymous PSC, standard PSC. So there are the PSCs are there here. There are the PSCs are there here. So PSCs means certificates related folders. These all are the folders here. So if you go to any one of the system here, maybe any system, it's a common procedure, either ECC or any system, there is a common transaction codes and a common folders here. Only SID will change. Okay. So here you can see system PSC. System PSC means this is the internal system PSC here. Internal PSC certificates here. See, internal PSC certificates here. CN equal to, so we have to create the certificates, and this is the system internal PSC here. So every certificate there is a subject and issuer here. So this is a system PSC means system internal PSCs here. System internal PSCs here. So in that case, what we have to do? This should be the internal PSC only here. So this is should be the internal PSC only here. What you have to do? Just you need to just click on the create the certificates here. Right click and so just go to the change mode, and in case of if you want to do the some changes, then So replace or distribute or check and replace, then so that will be replaced. This will be replaced. This will be created by default when the system is installed. System is installed. This will be created. In case it is not created, then we can create it here. We can manually create it here. Maybe suppose when the system is installed, it will be like this. Then right click and click on the create button. Then it will ask the name, that system name, and this is in the your organization's details. It will ask it. Then if you click it, it will be create the one folder here, system PSC folder here. Okay, that is the one. Then next one is the SNC certificates here. So this is the SNC related certificates here. SNC related secure network, so communication. So there is a, so SNC, normally SSO configuration will happen to the system via, so normally people SSO config, in case of SSO configured SAML2 mechanism, that is without entering the password, you can access the SAP related all the screens here. But in case of your system has been configured for the SNC, so the SNC means through GUI also, through GUI also you can log without, now you are logging to the SAP system with entering into the user ID and password, right? So without this also we can log into the system. But for that one, we have to configure the SNC. We have to activate the SNC. There is a SNC authentication. There is a user. There is a lot of activities we have to do that one. As part of this configuration, system will generate the one PSC here, SNC PSC here. So that PSCs we have to load it here, SNC PSC here. So SSL server standard PSC. So this SSL server standard PSC is like a SSL server standard PSC is like a, so SSL communication, pure SSL, HTTPS communication. I mean to say HTTPS communication purpose. We will use that SSL server standard here. SSL server standard here. So now, if anything here, if anything in the SAP you see here, anything in the SAP you see, so it's in the not configured. So anything if you access in the system here, it's in the not secure. Not secure. So not secure means the system is not trusted system. It's not the trusted system here. So anything you access in the system. So suppose like example, suppose the some of the banking sector systems, nowadays if you access any system, so either any system, it should be the trusted system. It should be there is certificate, the certificate is valid for that system, right? It should be the trusted system. Any site if you access, that will be the trusted one. That will be the trusted one here. That will be the trusted any site, that will be the trusted site system here, right? So any site or anything, any website or anything if you access here, so that will be the trusted one here, right? There is a trusted certificate. There is a trusted certificate is initiated here. The trusted certificate is there here, right? So, which means, what does it mean? The trusted certificate means here. So, you can able to access pure HTTPS communication, purpose. So, any attack, any cyber attacks or anything, to avoid any this kind of things, so your browser, your site is trusted, then no one will attack your systems, right? So cyber attacks and everything. If it is not trusted one, then definitely people will attack your systems here. People will attack your systems here in case of it is not trusted one here, right? So that type of things happens. So same in our SAP system also, in case of that is not trusted one, so anything cyber attacks will happen. People will log into the system. They will theft our data and everything here, right? They will theft our data and everything here in the systems. So to avoid this kind of things, what we can do, we can, to perform this kind of things, we have to create a, so trusted systems here. Suppose if you access anything in your system now, what will happen? So let's see here. So there is no SSL configured in your system here. if you try to access something in your system here, it is in the HTTP only, but it is in the non-secure mode. See, it is in the HTTP, so non-secure mode here, non-secure mode, right? Non-secure means not secure. So anybody can attack your systems here, right? Anybody can attack your systems here. So suppose if you configure trusted certificate, means if you import the trusted PSCs and everything here, so now what will happen? Now what will happen here? So this port number will change. Now people will log in, people will use the pure HTTPS communication, pure HTTPS communication. So then the certificate is trusted. No one will attack your systems here. See, but now certificate details are wrong. There is no valid certificates and everything here, right? See, it's not secure. Not secure means how the other people will trust your system certificate to do the transactions. Suppose this is a shopping cart related system, people will use the URL. So then when you're using the URL, so then this is a not trusted, it will block it sometimes. Then how the people will log into that? It's not secure one. It's not the secure one here. Your connection is not secure. You should not enter any sensitive information, passwords, credit cards because of stolen attackers, right? So then you should not enter this kind of things. So that is the procedure. So suppose if it is the trusted one, then how can we make it as a trusted one? Then in this case, in your SAP systems, go to the STRUSTSSO2 transaction code, then click on the so click on the create the SSL certificate here, right? Then you can configure this one. You can configure this one. Then what we have to do once you configure this one, distribute. So just create a certificate request. Create a certificate request here, CSR request. Then copy this request. Then send this request to the your every organization. There is a concerned CA persons, or they have the site to get the signed CA response certificate. So here there is a procedure to enable the HTTPS, to enable the full HTTPS, the trusted one. Then you need to generate a CSR request in your SAP. From SAP, you have to create a CSR request. Then the request, CSR request, you have to create it here. So send request to so send request for signing in, send request for CA signing in. So they have the tools, they will signing in, they will send the CA response certificate to you. Response certificate to you. Then you have to import import the CA response certificate into your STRUST SSO2, then SSL server standard. So here you have to import it here. So there is a procedure. So here there is an option here, import certificate response. You click on this one, they will provide the response certificate. Then you can import the certificate, whatever the certificate you got from the system, then you can import it, right? Click on the OK button. So that will be imported to the here. Then save it. Then distribute all, that will be distributed to the system here. Now after that, try to refresh the URL, that will come as a secure. Same as like how we have access the sites here, then that will come as a secure one. Like this, it will come the lock symbol. A lock symbol you will get here. One lock symbol you will get here like this. Okay, one lock symbol you will get like this here. Okay, so that is what we have to do it here. That's kind of things we have to update in the SSL server standard here. SSL server standard here, right? System PSC for the SSO purpose, anything other systems you want to integrate here, then this system you have to integrate there. So for that communication, you need to add other systems into this SSL, this system PSCs. So system PSCs, you have to do that one here. So then SSL client. SSL client here. Client means so other systems here. Other systems here. SSL client, SSL standard, anonymous, and there are certificates. You can see here. There is a SSL anonymous and SSL standard here. SSL anonymous, SSL client, SSL client standard, anonymous here. SSL client standard refers to the so client, normally clients, some third party clients, third party systems. Normally we will call it as third party systems. When connecting to the server, when connecting to the server for the authentication SSL authentication purpose, we have to import the third party system certificates into the here in the anonymous PSC. We have to import that certificates into the here. We have to import it to the here anonymous PSC. So right. So that usually standard client PSC here, right? Standard PSCs here. So means client authentication purpose here. SAP to SAP fine. We can import into the system PSC. SAP to SAP purpose. That system PSC we can import into the this system PSC, and that server standard PSC into this server standard PSC we can import it. Sir, my site is the third party site. My site is the third party site. Third party means it's non-SAP site here. Non-SAP related things here. So non-SAP related things, then how can we? Suppose like this website, it's required some data from the to pull to populate the data stock exchange related information here. It's required some data from the backend systems here. Backend means backend SAP system here. Then in this case, this system certificate, you can export it here. This system certificate, you can export it, right? The system certificate you can export it here. Then it will, but backend system also pure HTTPS connection. Then in this case, system will not accept the connection authentication. This is the client. This is the client is requesting the some data from the backend SAP system here, right? Then it will not accept immediately. Then in this case, what we have to do, we need to load the system certificate, that system certificate into the here. We need to load the whatever the certificate, we have to load into the here. We have to update that certificate into the here. So we have to update that system certificate into the here. Now onwards, what will happen? So if any connection which is coming from this side, then immediately your system will trust. Okay, this is the valid connection. So why? Because the certificate is exist already. Then it will accept the connection. Otherwise, your system will reject that connection. Your system will reject that connection here. Your system will reject that connection here. So that is called the identification purpose, authentication and identification purpose. So we have to import that system certificate into the here. So here, why? Because that is the anonymous and standard. Those are the anonymous and standard certificates. Those things we have to import into the here. Those things we have to import here, right? So those things we have to import into the SSL client. So anonymous and standard we have to import into the here, right? So what is the major difference between this anonymous and the standard PSCs here, individual PSCs here, right? So what is the difference here? So the difference, anonymous PSC. Suppose example, so anonymous PSC, it's a server side authentication, data encryption only. Suppose like if you see this is anonymous PSC, so the data should be encrypted. The data should be the server side authentication purpose and the data encryption mechanism purpose, we have to import the certificates into the anonymous PSC. Then there is a client PSC, SSL server standard, then client PSC, there is a standard certificate here, right? So what is this certificate is for here, right? So this is also, so this is like a standard, like it's a standard identification purpose, standard identification purpose. So we have to import the certificates here. Standard identification purpose, we have to import the certificates here. Standard identification purpose, we have to import the certificates here. So anonymous PSC. So means certificate we have to import into the third party certificates. We have to import into the anonymous PSCs only. Anonymous PSCs only. We have to import it here for data encryption and everything. If there is no data encryption, just it's kind of a standard connectivity. That purpose we can use the this standard one. We can import into the here. The standard one we can use it here. That is the
So
standard
real time we are working on the anonymous only.
anonymous. Yeah, some of the certificates, third party related things we have to import into the so anonymous, and sometimes same certificate we have to import into the standard also here. So, but the certificate should be either any one of the PS, any one of the folder. Basically, third party related things, any one of the PS. So remaining and all the web services, it's not much used here. This is the SSF authentication purpose. This will be created by default. Only important thing is like a so here main thing is like system PSC. This will come. Then SSL server standard. So this is the one of the important PSC SSL server standard here. So to make your URLs, system URLs feeding everything as a SSL communication. Why? Because the people will attack your system, the cyber attacks will happen in your systems. So not only through they will hack your user ID password, they will log in, they will hack your system based upon the your website also here, right? They will hack your system based upon the website. So your server site is not trusted one. Your server site is not the trusted one. In that case, what they will do? So immediately through that cyber attack will happen through browser. So through URL, they will enter into the your system. Then they will encrypt your data. They will store your data. Lot of things will happen. Finance data. But because all the finance data, everything will happen into the database level. But application is hosted on the on top of the database. So they can go to the transaction codes in case if they know, then they can theft the data. Then if they don't know, they will encrypt the data. Encrypt the data means so system immediately will down, data will not be so decrypted. Then they will demand the some amount to decrypt the keys. So then normally we see that kind of cyber attacks, right? So this kind of things will happen. To avoid that kind of things, people will go for the so pure HTTPS communication using the STRUSTSSO2, the SSL server standard. This PSC, this certificate, this is a system PSC. This should be the trusted by the your CA authorities. They will create the request. This request they will import into the SAP system. Their side they will import it. So from there, so they will send the response certificate. Then you have to import the response certificate into the here. Then there it should be the trusted one. Same as like how we got the whenever you open the any site system site, you are getting. But if you open the now server site anything, it should not be the secure one. You see, it not be the secure one here. It's not the secure one like that you are getting here. Right? So why? Because that is not the trusted one. That is not the trusted one here. Like that you are getting the things here. Okay.
So
Certificate. Maybe yearly once, whenever you update 1 year, that certificate is valid.
uh, so uh, so what kind of certificate are there? Like in the people's shop, we are having root,
So we need
intermediate.
to import that certificate and send to who so that they will provide us the CSR.
Yeah, CSR request. So whenever you import the CSR server certificate, they will merge the root, intermediate, and server certificate. These three, they will merge it. They will send you the response certificate to you. That response certificate you need to import into the in STRUST SSO2 transaction code.
Through SAP, we need to send to SAP or is there
Not
any
the
team?
SAP.
No.
Who supports you for this one? Some companies, there are some sites, right? GoDaddy and some other sites are there. GoDaddy also will provide the certificates. GoDaddy server certificates. Suppose like if you go to the so GoDaddy, so they will provide the certificates, trusted website, domain certificates and everything. Same as like Namecheap. So there the multiple third party providers are there. So
Okay.
they will provide you the certificates to you. We have to pay some amount. So suppose example, let's see in the GoDaddy. SSL certificates cost. Secure your website or data. With me all the plans. See here SSL certificate, not secure, browser warnings. So here we have the pricing. You can see here. They have the data. Yearly plans, you have to take it out. Then you will get the server certificates. And you have to import from there. So you will get the access. Then what you have to do, you need to log in. So you need to log in. Then there you have to import, just to send this data to site. Import, just paste the data, whatever the data generated, that will give the certificates. That certificate you can import it here. GoDaddy. So you will get like the site information. So certificate is secure. So this site is embedded with the so your server certificate as well as the issuer by the GoDaddy secure site. So like this. So some are the from the Google. Suppose like if you take, suppose like let's see the IRCTC certificate. So view this site information. Connection is secure. If you go to this one, this is the Geo Trust. There is some internal DG Cert. DG Cert also one of the vendor who will provide the certificates to us. GG Cert. If you go to any other certificates, what we can do? If I go to the one any website certificate, so here this is also lock symbol. Lock symbol means it's a purely connection is secure, so no one attack your certificate here. This is the something double RN1 providers here. Google Trust Services here. Okay, this is also fine. So like that, the people will use the multiple vendors. They will use it to get the certificates. So same as like we can also use your company also can so integrate with the any one of the maybe you can take the subscription. You can do it here. DZ cert also DZ certificate also one of the company. So that will they will provide the certificates to you. They will also provide the subscriptions of the certificates and everything here. All your certificates in the single platforms. Then you can do that work. That is also possible.
Okay.
Only thing
Like
is
you
we need
added.
to take the subscriptions.
Okay. Like you added the plankitsolution.com. It was insecure, so you added through SAP, right? By importing certificate from plankitsolution.com,
Yes, yes.
and we exported and then imported in SAP. So like this, we need to do for all sites, yeah, in
No,
SAP.
no, no, not all the sites. Suppose this website, suppose example, what I did is generally, suppose example, this website is get that you will require the data from the backend SAP system. So some APIs I have created that's required the some backend data here. So the data should be populated here. The career data, some stock exchange data, it should be populated, right? It should be populated from here. So then who will populate here? So normally continuously the backend system it will feed the data here. It will send to the here this data. In that case, what we can do if you integrate this system, this site into the your backend SAP, then backend SAP will keep on sending the data to the this website. So in the website it will be populated, it will be displayed, it will be populated. Suppose like if you see the some stock exchange data, so in the other site, example, some sites, some stock exchange, some market news, all those things, it will populate it here, right? Suppose if you see here, all the companies, they will, so it Sensex, ITI, some other many things, many companies their data is getting displayed here, their pricing, right, their data, all are getting displayed here. So how it is, this is a live data. Some sites are the live data will get displayed here, live data, live graph, everything will be displayed here. So then how it is getting here, how it is displaying here live data means the backend it is pushing the data to the here. So to trust this one, Why? Because SAP will not accept any connections. SAP will not accept any connections without trusting, right? So then, in that case, that third-party system certificate we have to, that is third party. Then we have to import into the here in the sites light list. We have to import it here. So in case we have to import into the here, then we have to import into the in the our PSCs, our system. We have to import it. Then if the connection is coming to our SAP, then it will trust. It will trust. That connection will trust. This website, this is the backend SAP system here. So this system is trying to establish the connection to pull the data, right? Then it's trying to coming to the connection, HTTP or HTTP connection, then HTTPS connection. Then our system will reject this connection. Boss, you are the unknown connection, abnormal connection. We won't accept. Then to accept this connection, what we have to do? This certificate we have to import into the our SSL server standard PSC. We have to import it here. Then, okay, this is the known certificate. It's in our trusted list. Okay, go ahead and pull the data from the your backend SAP systems. So like that, then it will establish the communication. So this is also should be trusted. This is also should be trusted. SAP also should be trusted. And also sometimes what happens, your SAP system is not trusted. There is no certificates. Then what will happen? This will trying to establish the certificate to the here. Then immediately this system will say like, boss, you are not the trusted one. So I cannot pull the data from your system. You are not the trusted person. So then immediately, why? Because we are not only one person, right? They are the multiple companies will push the data. Then they will write the some rules here. If the backend system also trusted, then only you can go ahead and pull the data. If it is not trusted, what will happen? This system already cyber attack already done. That this connection already entered into your system. Then immediately people will attack, will do something in this connection as well. To avoid this one, so both the systems should be the trusted. Trusted means HTTPS certificate should be imported into the both the side. That is the trusted one. That is the trusted one here. So then trusted means what? The certificate, which certificate? HTTPS certificates we have to import into the both the side. Then only your system is the secured one. Your system is the secured from cyber attacks. That's what it will happen. So nowadays, if you see any company certificates or anything, it will be the trusted. So some systems are not trusted. There is no trusting mechanism. Why? Because there is no that much of business of your company. Means they are not in the public level. They are not exposed to get the some data of this public sites and everything. Why? Because everything is in the public sites. You are exposing to the public side. Suppose like you are the shopping cart person. Suppose like example, Amazon shopping cart person, right? Amazon site, e-commerce site here, right? Amazon shopping cart person here. Then Amazon shopping cart person here. So some companies, some product based companies, they will create the something to here. Their details and everything will be populated here. Their rates and everything will be populated automatically here. How they can do that one here? So they will establish the connection between the two certificates here. DZ cert. So this Amazon is using the DZ cert issuer they are using here, right? Then this is trusted. When it is up to at what level? Up to 1 year. Then April 8th, so 2025, the certificate is going to expire. After the expire, whatever the third party, whatever the systems are pushing the data to the Amazon, so all will be disconnected. But by this time itself, only 1 weekend, they will take the downtime. Then they will renewal the certificates. They will renewal the certificate. Just 10 minutes job. They will renewal the certificates here. Then again, it will be trusted site here. During that time only, none of the connections will not be available here. So I worked for previously one customer, that is the product based customer, India product based customer here. So what they are doing here, they are they are connected to the Amazon. Why? Because they are the e-commerce site, right? E-commerce. So they are connected to the this is the Amazon front end, all these products. So they have the SAP systems are there here. SAP systems are there here. They are the product-based company. Their lipsticks and all the shop, their lipsticks and everything. So they will connect it to they will push the data to the Amazon, to tunnel to APIs to push the data to the here, Amazon. So people will start booking from Amazon also. Many of the people will use the Amazon. They will start booking the orders, payments and everything, right? So they are the stores actually. They will come to stores. They will book not only that one. They have integrated. They have partnered with the Amazon also. Then so they will log into the Amazon site. They will book the this kind of products from the SAP. So how this SAP systems data, they will push the data to the here, or this one will pull the data from the here. So in this case, this certificate we have to import into the here. Then in that case, so we have to import into the here SAP. SAP means STRUSTSSO2. Then we have to import to the here. Then we have to establish the connection, tunnel connection. Then they will pull the data from the via code. It will pull the data from the here. It is the SAP to SAP. Then we know SM59 we can establish the RFC connection to create the connection. So if it is the HTTP connection, why? Because the site is the not the SAP. Amazon site is not the SAP. It's a HTTP connection. Then HTTP connection, HTTP to here connection. We can establish it here, right? So that kind of things will happen. So why? Because server, our SAP system means it's not only just internally, we will only log in, we will do the transactions, right? It is in case of it is a product-based company, there lot of people will log in, will pull the orders, will pull the data, bulk orders, we will get it out, many things will get, right? So to secure those orders and this payments related information, Amazon, Swiggy, so definitely, so we have to secure those connections and everything, right? That is the one thing here. So that's why, so in the SAP system, this SSL server standard, we want to establish the pure secure connectivities between the system servers. So then you need to get the signed certificates from the systems. This should be the signed certificate certified by the your CA authorities. Your CA authorities, these two. There is a procedure every company, maybe some companies they have the common procedure, some company they have the internally they will develop the one tool, then they will ask you to send the code. Suppose example, normally we will generate the CSR request. This request we will send to the, there is in the client side there is a one person, we will send to him. What he will do, he will import this code into the their tool. There is a one tool, so Vanapi something, there are the tools they will import into the there. Then it will generate the root, intermediate, server certificates. Then that will be merged into the one certificate. They will send the response certificate to us. Then we will import the certificate into our SAP system. We will import it to here. That time it will be the trusted format. Otherwise, if it is not the trusted one, you see, if you go to the SMICM means it will handle the web-based request. In case of it is the trusted one, everything is okay. If it is not trusted one, then you will see here SSL certificate, unknown error. Certificate is unknown. Certificate is PSC was changed. So there is a protocol changed. Cyber suits got changed. So this connecting to the SAP Linux one is failed. It's unknown host. So means connection will reject, because unknown connections SAP will reject definitely, right? If it will accept it, then definitely there is a cyber attack. They will hack our systems. So it will reject it. System will reject it. Your ICM will reject. This ICM looks like a small service, but it's a technical service. If any unknown connections, web-based it is coming, definitely this ICM will reject your connections. We can see it here. If we go to the here, suppose if it is really real-time systems, we can see it here. We can observe it here. SSL certificates related errors. We can see it here. SSL certificates. See here SSL certificates. Certificate, the site is untrusted. The site is unknown. Certificate is unknown. So that like that. So it will reject all the connections. It will reject it here. We can observe it here. So which means, oh, certificate is because of the certificate, because of the certificates. So it's rejecting the connections here. See, it's read the client certificates. Client certificate is reading, but the client certificate is not there. So error. Then, so like that, it will read it. It will read it. If any abnormal certificates are connecting, it will read that connections here. Okay, that will happen. So carefully we need to, so in case of you are making the trusted connection, then you need to enable the ICM. You need to thoroughly, we can check the logs. Why? Because we changed it in the real time. We changed our server certificate. Sometimes what will happen? So there are the many third-party system certificates here. This is your SAP system. You observed like, okay, my system should be trusted. Okay. Then there are the hundreds of peripheral systems. There are the lot of third-party vendors, peripheral systems, which are connecting to the your system to pull the data, to push the data from banking sector. Definitely, it should be lot of things we have to do that one. So some banking system, it will pull the data from the backend systems here, the peripheral system. Normally, we will call it as the peripheral system, third-party systems, peripheral systems here. So as of now, it's fine. But HTTP, through HTTP, it is pulling the data. But you in the backend SAP system, you made it as a HTTPS, fully trusted one. Then what your SAP will do, if this all are the untrusted connections, will reject. All these connections will be rejected. Then all these connections will not get any data from SAP, or SAP will not get any data from the third party. Because of these systems are not trusted, so then this will reject it. Then again you need to, so you need this, these servers have to import your system certificate into their side, and this system certificate you have to import into the SAP side, STRUST, and like that you have to exchange the certificate there. The call will be trusted, and you can able to, this site, this peripheral system will able to pull the data. Right? It's not that much of easy. It's all simple one. We can go to the S-Trust. We can get the certificates, renewal it. That it will be done in the 5 minutes job, means that will be 5 minutes job only. But whatever the systems previously it is connected, it is pulling the data, the regular, their business hours will be impacted because of the certificate issues. So first of all,
So
we should know what are the
bounce
systems.
is required, right?
Sorry?
After server that services bounce is required, right? After importing the certificate.
Yeah, only SMICM service. Sometimes it's not required. In case of still you are facing the issues, then SMICM ICM restart is required. Just go to the here, just restart the, IC SMICM, ICM, just ICM restart. Why? Because ICM is the main culprit here to reject it. If you restart the ICM, so then so the certificate will be updated. That's fine. Only ICM restart you have to perform it. No other restarts not required. Only ICM restarts you have to perform. Only ICM restart you have to perform. So crypto is ready, SL is ready. So everything will be activated. So now, so fresh logs we will get it out. So certificate will be updated in all the PSCs. PSCs it will be updated. It will be updated all the PSCs. Then it will take into the systems, ciphers. Most dangerous protocols. These all are looks like a simple procedure, but it will it will create a lot of noise in case of, if you make it your system as a HTTPS, that is the secure one. So carefully you need to plan these things and everything. First of all, you need to analyze what are the systems are talking to our systems. Then you need to inform to them, and you have to inform one weekend you need to get the all their certificates into the your, and your certificate you have to import into the them, and their side, their team, you have to align with the team. We have updated our system certificate. Please import this certificate into your side. Please send your certificate into the my side. Then your side you have to update, and their side they have to import your system certificate. Then connection will be trusted. So sometimes without informing, so they will update their banking server certificates. So or without informing, they will update the some banking server certificates. They will update it. So TK Bank, PK, they're purely they will connect to the SAP. So then in that case, HDFC, Amazon, so like American Express. So there they will connect. They need some data from SAP. Settlements will happen from company to bank. Settlements will happen. In that case, so there's so the some interfaces, the banking interfaces, they will connect it. So in that case, so definitely it's required the connectivity. Connectivity means certificates. Certificates means SSL server certificates. So both the sides should have to export and shake the certificates and everything. Because business means it's not only within your server, you have to outside also, you have to expose it. You have to do it lot of things. Okay.